It's Friday and it got just a little bit freakier. Let's talk about Freakier Friday. I'm going to say it again. The Lohanessiance is upon us, and we finally get a Lindsay Lohan movie on the big screen after so many years. And it's a sequel to one of her most beloved films from 20 plus years ago. I love the Lindsay Lohan version of Freaky Friday. I think it's a fun, entertaining movie. There's a lot of good gags and jokes and humor and a surprising amount of heart. And when they announced a sequel to Freaky Friday, I don't know how excited I actually was, but seeing this resurgence of Lindsay Lohan's career over the last few years did get me excited, and I was anticipating this movie because of how much I value Lindsay Lohan's career and how much I actually really enjoyed the first Freaky Friday. And I can honestly say that Freakier Friday is just as good as the first Freaky Friday. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's a nostalgia bomb, but in all the best ways possible. It's not using it for cheap gags or cheap cheap pop or anything like that. It actually genuinely adds to the story, and you have really cool throwbacks to the original story. Plus, a little sprinkle of Lindsay Lohan's career throughout the film. There's a couple Mean Girl references. There's Parent Trap references and some other of her films in there as well. So the plot of this film is, of course, body switching. And in the first one, it was a mother and daughter. They switched bodies. In here, it is again mother, daughter, grandmother, and stepdaughter all switching bodies, and it gets a little hectic, but in a fun, entertaining way. There's body swaps and everybody gets a really decent chance to shine. But this was a really smart way to put Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan in the forefront. Not to say that the other kids in the film aren't entertaining or good at what they do. I think they capture the energy and the essence of their characters that they're supposed to be portraying very well. But this movie is a vehicle for Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan to just show off their acting chops, their comedic timing, and just to have a lot of fun. And a lot of fun you do have. This is a really funny film. There's a lot of good emotional, heartfelt moments in it. Good, decent throwbacks. Jamie Lee Curtis is just a gem, and especially when it comes to comedy. She just sells it in this movie so well. She plays this young kid very well, trapped in an older person's body, and it's just some of the best lines. And again, Lindsay Lohan is just such a joy to watch, especially since she's such a talented actress, and because of some life choices she made, her career kind of got derailed, but now she's back, and I am so excited to see more things from her. And what better way to have your big screen debut than a sequel to one of your biggest successes? Also, the rest of the supporting cast is fun. Manny Jacinto in here is really good and charming, as he always is. I like the direction that the film takes. I did find some little weird editing quirks, but I don't know if it was just me or the theater experience that I was in, but some of the audio didn't sync up all the time with the dialogue that was happening in the background. But other than that, this movie is a true joy, especially for people that are Freaky Friday fans. You're going to have a good time with this movie, especially if this is what you grew up with. If you love watching Jamie Lee Curtis in some really absurd, like comedic roles, and then just to see a resurgence of Lindsay Lohan, this is a good time at the theaters, and you're gonna have a blast.